Hello everybody, my name is Ryan and welcome to the France Pavilion here at Epcot's World Showcase. Today is Sunday, August 22nd, 2021, and today is my cast member preview to ride Remy's Ratatouille Adventure here at Epcot, which is opening on October 1st, 2021, which is Walt Disney World Resort's 50th anniversary. So we're getting ready to celebrate that. We're ready to open this ride, and I'm super excited to ride this ride for the very first time. So you guys are gonna come along with me, and we're gonna experience it for the first time together. I'm excited to show you guys around. So for the cast member preview, they gave us this little postcard here saying the 50th anniversary, and it's got the opening date of Ratatouille on there. And then on the back of this postcard, they actually have the recipe for Ratatouille coming from the kitchen of Bistro Chez Remy from Disneyland Paris. I've never had Ratatouille before, I've never made Ratatouille, I've never attempted it, but now that I have the recipe, I might give it a try, honestly. Sounds pretty good. So if you're interested in a food vlog and you want to try to see Ryan cook, maybe I'll give it a try sometime in the future. Just let me know if that would be something you guys are interested in. Leave it in the comments below. What's very interesting is that in addition to a standby entrance, the attraction also has a single rider entrance, which not many Disney attractions have. And also, we still have a Fast Pass entrance. I imagine that will go away with the announcement of the Genie service and the Lightning Lane, but it's interesting that it's built and is still currently here. Like, they were prepping for this ride to have Fast Pass before they decided that Fast Pass was not going to be coming back. Makes me wonder how recently that decision was made, and if that was a product of the COVID closure. Very interesting. I like the wallpaper. Has Remy and Emile. And the Eiffel Tower, made out of kitchen utensils and salt and pepper shakers. That's fun. Wow.
So many hungry faces! Well, you've come to the right place. Everyone knows the best food in the world is made here in Paris. And tonight, the toast of the town, Chef Remy, will prepare you a culinary masterpiece. Everyone can cook, but no one cooks like Chef Remy.
Definitely need a refurb for him. I know.
There's a small hidden Mickey, I've been told, right there at the bottom of the sketch pad. Very, very small. Very cute. Love it. I've also been told there is a second hidden Mickey in this room, although I'm yet to find it. So if you guys know where it is, definitely comment down below. Let me know. I love hidden Mickeys. Hello. Hello? Just one.
Enjoy your meal.
Thank you. Can't wait for my meal. I have my own rat as well, so that's pretty fun.
Vous voilà. Venez, venez, venez. Suivez-moi, je vous prie. Chef Remy is waiting for you. This way. Qu'attendez-vous? Oh, les Remy. Les invités pour le dîner.
Yes, what here? Hein? Pour le repas idéal. Coq au vin? Non. A simple omelet? Too simple.
What?
Mais oui, that's it!
Hey guys, the food is for them, not you.
What are you doing? Que manigancez-vous?
Ooh. Ooh. I got wet. Yeah, serves you right. Mousetraps.
Come on! Remy's kitchen's just around the corner! Oui, oui! On est presque arrivé à la cuisine de Remy!
3 entrecôtes pour la douce. Une à point, une bleue et une saignante.
Oui, petit chef!
Il va aussi me falloir rapidement 4 ratatouilles pour la carte.
Ooh, it smells good. Smells like bread.
Oui, ma chérie!
Hey, thanks for coming, everyone.
Vous serez toujours les bienvenus chez Remy. À bientôt et bon appétit. Mino. Au revoir.
And this way, you are always welcome at Bistro Chez Remy.
I like how at the exit of the ride they have Colette's motorcycle as well as the Vespa that Skinner steals to go chase Remy.
Vespa is freedom.
Super fun nod to the movie. So after riding Remy's Ratatouille adventure 2 times, I decided to come back home so I could kind of take some time to reflect on the ride and then find a nice quiet air-conditioned space so that I could give you guys my initial review of the attraction. There are definitely both pros and cons to the attraction, and I'm very excited to see what people think of it when the ride actually officially opens to guests on October 1st. First, the ride is definitely aimed for little kids and for families. It definitely feels like a Fantasyland attraction. It's very cute, it's very fun, and ultimately I think that's good. I think we need more of these attractions. Several of the newer rides that have opened more recently, Rise of the Resistance, Flight of Passage, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, even Slinky Dog Dash, a lot of these are thrill attractions, and we finally just needed a nice dark ride that was fit for all ages. It's very accessible. There's no height restrictions to this ride. It is wheelchair accessible. You can bring your wheelchair onto the attraction. You are not required to transfer. And it's just very fit for families. So I appreciate that about it for sure. The story itself is very simple, it's cut and dry, it's not complex like Rise of the Resistance or anything crazy like that. Basically, the premise of the story is that of Ratatouille. You're rats in the kitchen of an elite restaurant, and they're not supposed to be there, at least not in the eyes of human people. Good job, Ryan. And you're trying to avoid them while also making food, which is your passion. So that's the story of the ride. It's very simple, and I think it's effective in that way because it's aimed for kids. At least it feels like it should be. That's the main target audience of Disney anyway, so this is a perfect ride for you and your family. Now, if you're like me, for rides like this, 3D attractions, you're worried about motion simulation. I know I definitely was going into it. As soon as I saw there were 3D glasses, I got a little anxious. But the motion is not bad at all. It's comparable to Mickey's PhilharMagic, like the Aladdin scene where you're kind of like, I know PhilharMagic doesn't move, like the seats don't move, but kind of the feeling you get when you're riding the magic carpet, you kind of are immersed in that and your brain kind of like makes you think you're moving. You get a little bit of that. Pixar's Short Film Festival, the seats kind of bounce a little bit, there's not a whole lot of movement, and also Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. I could draw comparisons between the two rides because there were areas in the attraction that were very reminiscent of areas inside of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Like the specific alcoves when the Rat Pack kind of breaks apart and goes in their little alcoves and you're focused on the screen in front of you and it's kind of like a tunnel and you're moving and running away and stuff like that. So there's really not a whole lot of motion. It did not make me motion sick at all. Granted, that is me personally. It might bother some people. That's just the nature of the attraction, but it is not as bad as Star Tours, Flight of Passage, nothing like that. It's not a very intense simulator. There are just moments of time where you are watching a screen and your car is bumping and moving just a little bit. Another thing I loved about the ride were there were great water effects, heat effects, wind effects, and smell effects. That was key. I missed it on the first time around, probably because I had to wear a mask on the attraction as of right now. That rule will probably change in the future, but the second time I rode it, I was like, oh my gosh, it smells like food! And it smelled good. And I really, really loved that about the ride. It smelled like French bread. It was great. All in all, it's a great addition to Epcot. I'm glad it didn't replace anything because I would probably be disappointed. Because, you know, I love my classic Walt Disney World attractions, but this is a great addition. It's a brand new show building, it's a brand new area to the park, and I think it's great. I also definitely appreciate the parts that were kept in French to make it more authentic. This ride is originally from Disneyland Paris, and they basically just copied and pasted it over here. But I really like the fact that they kept the parts that were in French. I'm glad they didn't just make it all in English. Makes it feel more authentic and real, and I love that about it. Okay, now there are a few things about the ride that I disagree with or don't quite like as much as I would have liked to. First thing is the location of the ride. I am a huge fan of classic Epcot, and World Showcase was never supposed to have IPs or intellectual properties in it. It was never supposed to have Disney characters. It was supposed to be an area to teach you about the culture of different countries. And that's what I miss. That's why I'm very salty about Frozen taking the place of Maelstrom. Maelstrom was a very cultural ride. It taught you about the history, the mythology, the urban legends, all of that interesting information about the country of Norway in a fun, immersive, and exciting way. Now you've got people coming up to the cast members going, "Are you from Arendelle?" But Arendelle's a fictional place. It's not a place that actually exists in Norway. So that's my own personal rant, my own personal tirade, and that's just kind of doing this in France too. You've got the story, you've got the characters, but there's not a whole lot of culture still. And that's the part we're missing, because I feel like if we had more attractions in World Showcase that engaged younger audiences and piquing their curiosity about learning more about different cultures, that's what World Showcase is about. And that's not what this ride does. I can't fault the ride for that. I know that's the direction Disney as a whole is moving in, and that's just my own personal opinion. I disagree with that path that they're heading down. That's my own personal opinion. Also, the queue is a bit bland in my opinion. There was a lot of blank, empty wall space where I feel like they could have at least had some pictures hanging up. The parts that were immersive were great though. I love the nighttime sunset rooftop view over Paris, where you've got Gusteau talking to you every now and then. That room is fantastic. I love the loading area. Again, you're kind of like on the rooftops, you see windows, it's nighttime, like, love that. But the spaces that had nothing in it, I feel like there could have been more. And if you're waiting in line for long periods of time, you're gonna be stuck in these rooms with nothing to look at, and you're not gonna feel like you're involved in a story. You're just gonna feel like you're standing in the line. And that's unfortunate in my opinion. It has also been confirmed that Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is going to have a virtual queue, much like Rise of the Resistance. I also disagree with this decision because from my experiences and from my stance of watching other people interact with the virtual queue system for Rise of the Resistance, it is a frustrating and selective process. Not everybody gets to experience the attraction, and that's not fair. That's not what Disney should be about. So I'm afraid what's gonna happen is people are going to fight to get boarding groups. And when they finally do, and then they wait in the line after their boarding group gets called, and then they finally get on the ride, they're gonna be disappointed because it by no means is a thrill ride. It is a family ride. And I just don't think that's the way the structure of this queue system should be. I don't think it should be a virtual line. On the other hand, I understand that the area that the ride was built in is not very big. That plaza area is not gonna hold a lot of people. The queue is quite small, even though it has extended portions that I didn't walk through today. It's still fairly small. It doesn't hold a lot of people. So I anticipate that they're going to use this virtual queue system, at least for the first few months, to break up that crowd and make it so that not everyone is coming in line all at once and completely crowding that area, blocking the exit, preventing people from getting in and out, blocking all the walkways, because it's a small area and the walkways are narrow. So I think they're going to use the virtual queue system to aid that process a bit. And I think that's smart. But I don't think it should last for more than just the initial opening. Remy's is still very immersive. I love the massive show props, making it feel like you are a small rat running through a massive kitchen. I love that. I especially love the part where you are like underneath the dolly, and you've got wheels on the sides of the room next to you that are moving, making you feel like you're scurrying underneath the dolly into the dining area of the restaurant. Love that. The thing that bums me out just a little bit is there was a lot of screen time, and I wish there was more of a blend of show props as well as screens. Because Rise of the Resistance proved you can have a good mixture of both. And this was very screen heavy, which I don't think is, personally for me, as an enjoyable of an attraction as rides that are based on show props. And that could be because of my motion sickness, because simulators are not my forte, so I tend to avoid the screens when I can. I'm a sucker for a good story and really, really well designed and executed show props. All in all, I did have a great time on the attraction. I rode it several times. I walked through the queue several times. I had a great time exploring everything and looking for little details. I'm sure there are going to be a ton of hidden Mickeys, a ton of secret references, and all kinds of stuff that I can't wait to look for when I go back in the future. But I definitely encourage you to ride it. It's a great family-friendly attraction, and I think it's important for you to be able to form your own opinions about it. So definitely get out there on October 1st, opening day. Definitely get out there, go ride the attraction. If you're a pass holder, those previews are coming up soon. If you're a cast member, make sure you go within the next like 10 days or so, because they're still doing previews for us. Go out and ride it. It's super cool. It's a great experience. It's a lot of fun, and I want you guys to be able to form your own opinions so that we can have conversations about it, because I'm excited to understand how you guys feel about the ride, and we can have conversations about it back and forth. So definitely let me know what you think of the ride in the comments below if you have ridden it, and let me know what you think of what you saw from this video. It's definitely not going to be the same as riding it on your own, because there were 3D glasses involved and the camera was not wearing 3D glasses. So I can only provide you so much with this video. So definitely get out there, ride it for yourself, and let me know what you think. But thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope your day was just as great as mine was. Hang loose everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.